Americans still move trillions of dollars using pieces of paper that display the information thieves need to target a bank account. We have instant payments now, so why won't checks die? You probably do not carry a checkbook anymore. You may not even know where yours is. Then a landlord, contractor, school, insurance company, or random rebate program asks for a check, and suddenly it is 1997 again. Now you are digging through a drawer for a piece of paper connected directly to your money. And checks are not surviving on pocket change. The Federal Reserve estimated that 11.1 billion checks worth about $27.4 trillion were paid in the United States in 2021. By number, checks were only around 5% of non-cash payments. By value, they represented roughly 1/5. So no, this is not just a few grandparents buying groceries. Enormous amounts of money still move through a payment method invented before electricity. And here is the ridiculous part. A typical personal check can display your name, address, bank routing number, account number, and signature. Then we put it in an envelope, leave it in a mailbox, raise a little red flag announcing that something valuable is inside, and call the system secure. But the weirdest check may be one you never wrote. Depending on your bank and the person you are paying, clicking send in online bill pay can cause the bank to print a physical check, place it in the mail, and deliver it with a stamp. The website looks modern. The payment's final mile is still wearing a paper hat. So why are checks still here? There are 3 real reasons. One makes them incredibly useful. One traps businesses in the past. And one is a modernization that was supposed to reduce paper, but may have helped the check survive. The biggest reason is not older people. It is that every shiny new payment method has rules about who can use it. Both people may need the same app. A business may need a card terminal. A bank transfer may require account details, authorization, verification, or a system that can match the payment to an invoice. A check bulldozes through all of that. At its core, a check is just a written instruction to your bank. Pay this person this amount from this account. The recipient does not need your payment app, your username, your phone number, a card terminal, or even an account at the same bank. They need a name to put on the check and a way to deposit it. That is it. You can pay a plumber you met this morning, a tiny supplier in another state, or a relative who refuses to download anything. The check does not care which app won the argument. Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, and other services can feel effortless when both people already use them. But a business paying thousands of vendors cannot assume every vendor joined the same platform, accepts cards, or wants to hand over banking instructions. A check asks almost nothing from the recipient before it arrives. It is the payment method 2 modern systems use when they fail to recognize each other. Checks also carry information in a way old business systems understand. Attach an invoice stub, add a customer number, send it through 3 approvals, file a copy, match it to a bill later. Thrilling? Absolutely not. But businesses do not pick payment systems because they look cool in an ad. They pick the system that survives approvals, audits, vendor relationships, accounting software, and whatever prevents somebody from getting yelled at during month-end close. The Federal Reserve has pointed to historical practices, legacy systems, information services, and financial controls as reasons checks stayed popular in business. Translation. The paper is not the real problem. The check is tangled into everything around it. Replacing one sheet of paper sounds easy. Replacing the approval rules, vendor database, software, fraud controls, employee training, and reconciliation process attached to it? Welcome to a 6-month project nobody asked for. Imagine a small business sending 50 checks a month. The owner knows the system is ancient. The owner also has customers, payroll, inventory, and approximately 12 emergencies before lunch. Completely rebuild accounts payable is not winning that meeting. That is how checks can collapse in popularity and still be everywhere. In a 2025 survey cited by Nacha, they had fallen from 81% of business-to-business payments in 2004 to 26%. That sounds like checks are almost dead, until you learn that 91% of organizations in another 2025 survey said they still use them somewhere. And now we reach the twist that may have saved the check. Before 2004, banks physically transported huge piles of checks for processing. Imagine planes and trucks moving paper between financial institutions because the original document needed to reach the paying bank. Yes, your payment could basically have a connecting flight. Then Check 21 changed the game. Banks could capture the front and back of a check, combine those images with payment data, and send the information electronically. The check you deposit with your phone may never physically travel anywhere. Even one handed to a teller can quickly become an image and a line of data. The paper survives at the front. Digital machinery does the heavy lifting behind it. Which means modernization did not kill the check. It rescued it. Mobile deposit removed the annoying drive to the bank. Image processing removed much of the physical transportation. We did not eliminate the dinosaur. We gave it Wi-Fi. Unfortunately, we did not remove its teeth. Thieves steal checks from home mailboxes and postal collection boxes. Sometimes they chemically erase the payee and amount, a scheme called check washing, and simply write in new ones. Other times, the stolen check becomes a template for counterfeits. One little piece of paper can teach a criminal what your checks look like, where you bank, and which account to target. FinCEN received more than 680,000 reports related to check fraud in 2022, nearly twice the number from the year before. Then, in just 6 months following a 2023 federal alert, financial institutions reported more than $688 million in suspicious activity tied to mail theft-related check fraud. Some stolen checks were altered and deposited. Some were copied. Others were deposited using forged endorsements. Fraudsters did not find one weakness. They found a menu. And that is the nasty trade-off. A check is easy for almost anybody to receive because it carries the instructions with it. It is also easy to photograph, copy, alter, lose, delay, or steal because it carries the instructions with it. You may discover the problem only after money disappears. Now you are calling the bank, reviewing transactions, filing claims, possibly closing the account, and moving every automatic payment attached to it. All because you tried to pay somebody the way they asked. Even an honest check can punish you. A bank may hold the deposit. A check can bounce after the recipient thought the money was theirs. A stop payment request may cost a fee, and it is not a magical undo button after processing. Businesses pay for this friction too. Industry research puts the median cost of issuing one check at roughly $2 to $4, compared with well under $1 for a typical ACH transaction. Multiply that by a few thousand payments and the charming old checkbook starts looking like an extremely expensive office decoration. And yes, some of that expense can reach you. It hides in administrative overhead, bank fees, delayed payments, employee hours, and eventually prices. Nobody adds a line to your bill called, "Our payment system is ancient." But somebody is paying for it. At this point, the obvious question is, why not force everyone onto ACH and be done with it? Because ACH is wonderful after the relationship is set up. Getting there can require routing and account numbers, authorization, bank setup, fraud controls, and payment data that tells a business which invoice the money belongs to. For payroll or a supplier paid every month, absolutely worth it. For one insurance refund, one legal settlement, or one contractor the company may never pay again? Printing a check can be the path of least resistance. Cards charge fees, especially painful on large payments. Wires can be expensive. Payment apps depend on identities, membership, limits, and platform rules. Instant bank payments are growing, but every bank, business, accounting platform, and customer is not connected in exactly the same way. Every alternative wins somewhere. The check survives in the awkward gaps between them. Now comes the hardest reason to kill. Everyone has to move together. A business cannot eliminate checks if even a handful of important suppliers still require them. A landlord may hesitate to require an app if some tenants cannot use it. A recipient will not invest in new software while customers keep mailing paper. Everyone is waiting for everyone else to go first. The easiest payments already moved online. What remains are the strange one-offs, stubborn holdouts, ancient databases, and organizations that somehow still need a fax number. In other words, checks are no longer winning the mainstream. They are dominating the leftovers. Digital access matters too. Millions of American households remain unbanked, and many more people face unreliable internet, limited comfort with technology, or barriers to using a particular service. Checks do not magically fix that. Someone without a bank account may still have to pay a check cashing fee just to access their own money. But institutions are understandably nervous about removing a familiar option before every person has a reliable replacement. So checks keep limping forward, not because they are secretly brilliant, but because they are familiar, legally established, broadly accepted, and attached to systems that move at the speed of cold syrup. If somebody still makes you use one, protect yourself. Avoid leaving an outgoing check in an unlocked home mailbox, and use a secure post office location when possible. Use permanent dark ink. Fill the empty spaces. Monitor the account after sending it. If the check disappears or anything looks strange, call the bank quickly. After all, you did not just mail money. You mailed a document containing directions to the money. Paper checks will keep declining. Businesses are moving to ACH and faster payments. Consumers write fewer checks. Government payments are shifting online. The direction is obvious. But decline is not extinction. To truly kill the check, a replacement has to be nearly universal, cheap, easy for one-time payments, compatible with business accounting, accessible to people with very different technology, and trusted by both sides. That is a much higher bar than simply building a faster app. Until somebody clears it, the check survives as the emergency exit underneath the American payment system. Nobody is excited to use it. Nobody is quite ready to lock it. That is the fine print. Paper did not beat digital. Digital quietly rebuilt everything behind the paper, and accidentally made the dinosaur harder to kill. If you want more stories about the old systems quietly controlling modern life, and what they cost you, subscribe to Past the Fine Print.